And so, as one of the few conservatives who not only worked at Facebook, but in the Bay Area, I just started writing about these issues and talking about them. And it kind of just snowballed from there, where I think there are a lot of conservatives there, but a lot of them felt afraid for their jobs and often
Yeah.
their safety. And so I think for me coming here and defending the values that made the country I chose to come to so great, I wanted to defend those. Because I think there's a lot of people who bash the countries they move to. I will never understand that. I think that's the biggest problem at the center of a lot of the migration we see is that people move to a country and then spend 24/7 complaining about how terrible it is. I mean, if you hate it that much, you can go back to where you came from any time.
Yeah, this I wanted to talk to you about this because assimilation is key, right? People
Hmm.
talk about America as being this melting pot. Well, if you're not willing to melt, then it's not a melting pot, right? And I'm not
Yes.
saying that you have to just like abandon your beliefs or abandon everything that made you you, but if you are so steadfast in your belief system, so much so that you don't
Hmm.
respect the new culture enough to leave some of it behind and adopt some of the new culture and at least try to blend in with this new country that you're living in. I mean, why?
I've been tweeting this quite a few years, the idea that immigration without assimilation is invasion. And it's 100% true. Because if you are coming to a country or immigrating to a country, but you are not in any way assimilating to what makes that country great, why you moved there, then what you are doing is you are inserting yourself, you are trying to hijack the country, you're essentially a human Trojan horse. And
Yeah.
then you're trying to import everything that destroyed the country you came from. We see that in Europe, we see that in Africa, we see that in the Middle East, we see that in the Far East. There's plenty of people who immigrate to America because it's the best country in the world. And yes, there are a lot of opportunities, but they also want to contribute to that country and they want to contribute in the way that I hope I contribute to every single day by defending America and defending American values. But there are plenty of people who come to the West, whether it be the United Kingdom or Western Europe or the United States, to drain every single thing they possibly can while also trying to insert their ideology, their religious beliefs, their cultural beliefs into America. That's a problem. I think that's something we should all reject. It's not racist to fight for your own culture. It's not bigoted to say that your culture is better than someone else's culture, especially when that person abandoned their culture to come and live in
Right.
yours. I think we all need to stand up and defend America because if you don't, you'll blink. And we're seeing it happen in Europe. It's going to happen here too.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's not bigoted to look at Sharia law and think that's not going to fly in the United States of America. I mean, these cultures are so different from one another, they can't coexist. And to see people move to the United States, they have this complete different culture. It doesn't even make sense for them to want to live here if they believe in this stuff. Which is fine. I mean, go stay where you're at or move to another country that's more like-minded, I guess. But I also can't make sense of people moving here and then not learning how to speak English. It's almost selfish, and maybe that's a cultural thing, but I would never move to another country and then expect them to speak English, although that is the case. A lot of countries, people do speak English as well. But if I were to move somewhere full time, I would do my darndest to try to fit in.
Well, it's a basic level of respect, isn't it? It's that if you go to another person's house, you play by their rules. Say you don't wear shoes in the home, but someone else doesn't care, then you might not care about wearing your shoes. And if the reverse, you're going to take your shoes off. It's basic courtesy. And so if you go in to live in someone else's country, you respect their culture. And yes, you learn the language. I think a lot of this, though, is that the reason this is happening is because there are Americans, the vast majority of them left wing by default, who are afraid of actually defending their own culture. And they take a lot of these things for granted because they don't appreciate the beliefs and the views and the ideologies beneath it. So they just assume America just like exploded out of nowhere one day. Just complete accident. Every country is the same, every belief system is the same, every ideology is the same, and America is just an accident, and so everyone should just have a free-for-all. Where, of course, that's not the case. People fought and died to make America what it is and keep it what it is. But it was also a lot of people who put forth the ideas that made America what it is and put that into concrete forms in the form of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and these kind of fundamental ideas that are unique in human history. And so I think there's a lot of naivety there and a lot of ignorance there. And those kind of people are just rife for immigrants who want to come in and insert their own ideology. If we look at a lot of money that's coming from the Middle East, countries like Qatar and Iran, where do you think that money is going? It's going into universities and colleges because they
Right.
want to insert their ideology into the place where people are most ignorant and most vulnerable to outside ideas. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of sort of young, naive, and in many cases, ignorant Americans who are very vulnerable to this kind of thing on college campuses, who think that the world is just like Disney World and Epcot Center, where everyone is the same, but the costume is a little different, or the food smells a little different, but everyone's the same deep down. They are not. People are different deep down. Cultures are different, civilizations are different. And I think the fact that is people do not understand that ideologies are not the same. Whenever this comes up and I'm on a college campus and I'm trying to argue this point, I always try and get someone to admit, for example, that say, do you think there's a difference between your idea of liberalism and white supremacy? And of course they'll say, yes, white supremacy is terrible. Okay, so you agree that there is a difference in ideology. So why can you not do that for, say, Western civilization and radical Islam? But the difference is that involves criticizing someone who fits into their identity
Right.
politics nonsense machine, and they get very uncomfortable doing that. So they don't do that. And of course, they become victims to the problem. It's a very dangerous cycle.
Yeah, it's like this protected class.